So yesterday we have seen about the matplotlib, and today we are going to see about Seaborn, which is nothing but it is also a visualizations tool, same as matplotlib, but there is some other techniques how we can handle with the numerical data and categorical data. I will tell you what is the numerical data and categorical data. Just give me 1 minute. I told you yesterday about data set no CSV file. How the CSV file will be, there will be an independent features, which means x-axis, x variable, y variable, like that. So you can increase the variables also, there is no issue. In some data sets, it will be x1, x2, x3, so on goes on. Okay, these are known as in columns, and these are known as in rows. Okay, but we will discuss now what is the purpose of using Seaborn and what is the difference between the matplotlib and Seaborn. We will discuss now. When compared to matplotlib, so what are the topic we discuss in matplotlib? The first is nothing but an histogram, and the second one what we discuss is the most important one is scatter. Third one we discuss about plotting technique. And the fourth one what we discuss about pie chart, and some other tools also we have discussed in matplotlib. But in Seaborn what we will do is, instead of learning in this way, we will learn in advanced way. Okay, so there are some other tools which will separate matplotlib and Seaborn. So how it is different is, suppose I am having two data three columns, suppose x1 and y I'm having. In the x I'm having numerical number, suppose 2.3, 4.3, 4.4, like that. And in x1 I'm having like male, female, male, like that. If I'm having this type of data, and I'm having a y also some numerical numbers for 3, 4, 5, like that. So we will discuss how we can handle the numerical data, how we can handle this type of data. This type of data is nothing but in categorical data. What is meant by categorical? Nothing but in text format. Okay, text format. This is also numerical data. You know about numerical data. The values will be in the format of numerical. Okay, so now we will discuss about the Seaborn technique, and we will see what are the predefined functions in the Seaborn technique, how we can use visualization very clearly. I'm just opening my Python notebook. See here, this is a Seaborn. For importing Seaborn, this is the package I told you yesterday. NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, and Seaborn are already predefinedly available in the base environment. So we can import Seaborn here, import Seaborn as SNS. Before that, I am importing another package known as NumPy, Pandas, and Matplotlib also. Just typing importing NumPy and importing Pandas. And also importing Matplotlib. And I'm executing it. In the same way, I'm also executing this Seaborn. So it is taking some time for executions. There is no problem. Okay. I'm also executing the second cell. See, both are in the working process for execution. So the first cell has been executed successfully, and it is now going to check the second cell. I told you yesterday one data set. I think you all remember the data set is nothing but a Titanic data set. I told you yesterday about Titanic data set, which is in the format of CSV file. Okay, there are some data sets. Okay, instead of collecting from our own operating systems, from our own database, we can collect such type of data sets from the Seaborn. Okay, in Seaborn there are some predefined data sets which can be available directly. We can import that particular data set instead of collecting from our device. We can directly import from the Seaborn. We will see how we can import that particular data sets. See, the first one has been executed and the second one also executed. See this command very carefully. What I am doing here, SNS, which means Seaborn. I am importing a Seaborn as an SNS variable. SNS dot get data sets. See this command, get data sets names. Whatever the predefined data sets are available in the Seaborn, that many data sets will be printed in the form of a list here. See, yesterday we have a Titanic data set, but Titanic data set also available in Seaborn. So instead of collecting the data sets from our device, we can collect from the Seaborn here. But there are another data sets, n number of data sets are there here. So if you want iris data set, you can import iris data set. If you want planets data set, I will tell you one by one when we are discussing with the machine learning algorithm. So now I am executing this command. What I am executing? I want to see the predefined data sets in the Seaborn. If you observe here, this command executed very successfully. So these are the predefined data sets which are available in Seaborn library. Okay. Instead of collecting from the external sources, we can collect from the internal library, Seaborn. So from this entire data set, I am collecting one data set that is known as tips here. So each and every data set will be in the format of a CSV file only. I'm telling you once again, see SNS dot, I'm loading the data set here. Load data, this is a command, load data set. What I am passing, this tips data set I want to load. I'm passing here TIPS in the format of string format. I'm saving in a variable known as df. I'm printing the head condition, df.head. I'm executing it. See, the data has been executed very successfully. I told you with respect to head, what is the purpose of using head? It will print first 5 columns. First 5 observations, nothing but not a columns, observations. Okay. And you need to understand one thing here in data science community, you need to call observations and rows in the format of, suppose I'm having here rows, I'm having here columns. So in data science community, everybody will not call the rows in the name of an rows. The rows is defined with a name known as an observations. Okay. When I am telling that it is an observation, is nothing but a row. Columns is nothing but a feature. Okay, features. The rows we will call it in the format of observations and the column we will call it as features. Okay. Remember this, don't use this row and column name, use observation and feature name. Okay. Now what I am doing here is, I am finding the correlation. Okay, I am finding the correlation for this data. I will tell you about what is the correlation here. Suppose I am cleaning this data. Suppose here I am having x1 variable and x2 variable and x3 variable and y variable. Suppose different format of columns are there. Columns is nothing but a feature. Suppose in this column I'm having a number of values, suppose 2, 3, 4, 5 like this. Suppose in this x2 feature I'm having 10, 11, 12 and 13. In this x3 feature I'm having 21, 22, 23, 24. In the y feature, suppose I'm having 0, 1, 1, 0 like that. So what do you mean by correlation here is, suppose I will give a best example for here. Suppose here is a person. Here is a person. This is a men 1. I am taking another person. Men 2. Okay, remember men 1 and men 2. What I am doing here is, I will tell you what is the correlation with respect to one best example. Suppose I am taking one person. I am taking it as a men 1. And I am taking as another person. I am taking it as a men 2. So I am considering these both are best friends. Okay, these both are best friends. So they are thinking that they want to rob a bank. They want to collect each and every money from the bank. Suppose here is a bank. I am calling this bank is as an Union Bank. Suppose. Okay, here is a bank. They want to rob this bank. So what they will do, before going to the bank, they will have a clear understanding how to rob a bank, everything. So they went to the bank, they rob everything. And one person, they share the money. Suppose if they collected 1 lakh from the bank, 50,000 will be shared for men 1 and 50,000 will be shared to second person. What they will do, one person will go to some state I am calling as a New York, and another person will go to some state known as in San Francisco, suppose. Okay, San Francisco. Now what they will do, what the police will do, the police will in search of these two people. Because why the police will be in search of these two people? Because they are robbed this bank and we need to find out these both people. So what the police will do, instead of searching two people separately, what they will do, they will search for one person. Why? If I caught one person, if I caught men 1, the men 1 will definitely say the information about men 2. Yes or no? Because they're best friends. So the men 1 information will be in the hands of men 2, or the men 2 information will be in the hands of men 1. What do you mean by this is, men 1 is completely depending upon the men 2 and men 2 is completely depending upon the men 1. This is how we will find out the correlation. Okay, I will tell you another example. Suppose here I having one person here having, he is from India, and suppose here having another person, he is from US. Suppose we will take about US. This person robbed a bank. He went to the bank and he robbed everything. He went to the bank and he robbed everything. Okay. Indian police will search in the for this person only, and US police will search for this person only. Why? Because they are not depending upon each other, because this person belong to Indian category and this person belong to US category. These both people not belongs to friends. Yes or no? So we need to search for these people, this person, and we need to search for these people. What do you mean by these two techniques here? The two friends are not depend on each other, not depend. But in the first example, what we said, they are friends because they are depending upon each other. For this example, what you understood? Suppose if I am having a column, I am having a data set like x, x1, x2, x3, and suppose I am having x4. Suppose here I am having one data 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here I am having data 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Here also some data is there. Here also some data is there. Here also some data is there. What we have to do, we need to find out the correlation. I told you what do you mean by correlation. We need to find out whether each and every column is depending upon the other column or not. It completely belongs to statistics concept, but I am telling you now only statistics concept. This x feature, we need to find out whether this x feature is depending upon this feature, x1 feature, or this feature is depending upon x2 feature, x3 feature, as well as x4 feature. Second, what we will do, we will find out the relation for x1 feature with x and x2 and x3 and x4. Here what we will do, again we will find out the relation between x2 with respect to x1, x1, x2, x3. So what it is going to do, each and every column is going to find out the relationship with the other column. Then only we can decide whether they are dependent or not. If it is dependent, suppose here I am having x, x1, x2. Suppose I am taking 3 columns only. I find out the correlation for x and x1. So if I am having some relation between them, what we will do, I told you, instead of searching for 2 people, if they are friends, we will completely focusing upon only one friend. Here also, instead of considering 2 variables, what we will do, if they are dependent, we will only collect one column, because whatever the data is in x, the entire information will be depending on x1. So instead of taking x, we will take x1. This is known as a dependent. Independent means if I am taking x1 here, if I am taking x2, if I am taking x3, if there is no relation between x1, x2, x3, we need to take each and every column, because this information is private and this information is private and this information is private. So what we will do, we need to completely take the data of x1, x2, x3. They are not depending upon each other. If they're depending upon each other, we need to take only one column, because this particular one column can be have the information about remaining columns. This is known as a correlation. We need to understand here one thing, what is how we can find out the correlation, with what value we can find out the correlation. Okay, I will tell you about the correlation. First of all, correlation we can prove the correlation with the help of 2 techniques, that is known as a Pearson correlation. There are 2 types of correlations here, Pearson correlation and Spearman correlation. Okay, with the help of these 2 columns, we will find out the correlation. We will discuss completely when we are discussing with the statistics concept. Okay, the formula behind the Pearson correlation and Spearman correlation, everything. But I will tell you one thing here, you need to understand the range of correlation. The range of correlation is nothing but -1 to 1. Here, what do you mean by this -1 to 1 means? Suppose here is if I am having x column here, if I am having x1 column here, if I find out the correlation between these 2 variables, if these 2 variables is giving the value 0.85, what do you mean by 0.85? The range is from 0 to 1 only, no? It is on the positive side, which means 85%. These 2 columns, this particular x column and x1 column, are depending upon each other, which means whatever the data in x, 85% is carried by x1 also. Okay, what do you mean by -1 to 0 then? The range is from -1 to +1, no? I'm writing again here, the range is from -1 to 1. So we can write -1 is less than or equal to p of x is less than or equal to 1. Okay, which means you can, instead of here p of x, what we will pass, -1 is less than or equal to 0 is less than or equal to 1. So from 0 to 1, if it in this range, if it gives more than 85%, we can, in the x1 and x2, suppose I am finding the correlation for these 2 values, for these 2 columns, if I get the percentage 85, I can remove one column, because 85% of the data of the x1 is going to carry with x2. Okay, if -1 to 0, which means it is a negative correlation. From 0 to 1 means it is a positive correlation. Minus 1 to 0 means negative correlation. Okay. This is how we can find out the correlation technique. We will discuss completely the formula behind everything when we are discussing the statistics of the correlation. Now, if you observe in this part, what I am applying here, see df dot CORR. CORR is nothing but a correlation. If I apply here, if you see here, total bill, how many columns I am having? Only numerical numbers, not categorical. Total bill I am having, tip I am having, and size I am having. I pass from total variable to total variable. What is the correlation? 100%. Why it is giving 100%? Suppose this is me, the entire internal feeling of me completely known by me only, no? Yes or no? Whatever the feelings I am having, complete 100% known by me. Only 85% will be known by my mother, and 75% will be known by my family members. Okay. So if I want to find out the correlation within me, okay, if you want to find out the correlation within me, it will give you 100%, because whatever the feeling we have, it is completely connected to our brain, which means the information which we carried is completely depending upon ourselves. So what do you understand from here? If you want to find out the correlation for that particular column, you see here, from total bill to total bill, the correlation is 100%, because they know everything. They know their feelings, everything inside them. Okay, if you want to find out the correlation between total bill to tip here, see, from this total bill to tip here, both are numerical values. What is the correlation formula? 67%, 67%, this tip is carrying this information, total bills information. And from total bill to size, 59% of data are correlating. Again, if you see here, in this first observation, I passed from total bill to total bill to tip, and total bill to size. But in the second observation, what I am passing? Tip to total bill. If you observe here, total bill to tip, what is the value? 0.67. Here also it will be same. Okay, tip to total bill, and tip to tip it will be 100%. I told you, no, from column for itself it will give you 100%. From tip to size, it is going to give you 48, and size to tip it is giving me 59, and size to tip I am giving 48, and size to size I will get 100%. This is how we will find out the correlation for each and every column. I will tell you the formula behind this when we are discussing statistics. Okay, don't worry. Just for finding sake, we can find out the correlation. What is how much percentage of the correlation is there in the data when there are numerical values only. Correlation can be found out with the help of numerical values. For categorical values, there are another test known as a chi-square test, t-test, and ANOVA test. When we're discussing machine learning, we'll have a clear idea how they're implementing. But here, this is with respect to numbers. I want to apply some graphical representation for this correlation. For that purpose, we'll use heat map. This heat map is nothing but to find out the relation. See here, from tip to tip, how much it is giving? 1%, no, which means 100%, no. See here in this graph, from tip to tip, it is giving 100%. One means nothing but 100%. Here it is giving from tip to tip, total bill to tip, it is giving 67%. Here also from total sale to bill, it is giving me 68. Nothing but 67, 0.675, some decimal values is nothing but 68%. No? So instead of collecting the data differently, we can plot in the technique known as an heat map. Okay. With the heat map also we can find out this technique. We can find out the correlation. Now you need to understand one thing here. The parameters inside this heat map. What I am doing here is with the help of Seaborn SNS, I am plotting a heat map. Inside heat map, what I am passing? df.CORR. What is DS? DF is nothing but a data which is holding a variable. Okay. In this DF variable, the entire data of the tips is holding. So I am passing here df.correlation, which means for this df data apply correlation. Now what I am passing here to parameters I am passing is nothing but v minimum is equal to 0 and v maximum is equal to 1. If you observe here, the plotting on the right side here, it starts from 0 and it ends to 1. So this is the purpose that we are using v minimum. If you pass v minimum is equal to 0, it starts from 0, and if you pass v maximum is equal to 1, it ends at 1. Center is equal to 1. What do you mean by center is equal to 1? Means the color of this image. Okay, I will tell you if you remove what will happen. Anode is equal to true. What do you mean by anode is equal to true? Means for each and every column here, for each and every cell square bracket, if you see inside there is a numerical representation 0.68, 0.6. For plotting that particular value, we will use anode. What I will do is I will just copy it. I will remove that. Okay, I will just execute it now. It is taking time and it is executing. But see, there is no values inside the heat map. So for that purpose, what I will do, I will just put a comma. I will again copy it. and if I execute it, see, it is showing me values. This is the purpose of using ANOD. If you observe here, if you just remove the center keyword, and if I execute it, the color will be different. Okay, for that purpose I am using this center keyword. Okay, just I'm running it again. See, the plotting techniques is very perfect. Okay, now there is another technique known as a joint plot. Okay, this is also one of the important technique, joint plot. So this joint plot, what is the purpose of using this joint plot is we will have an x-axis. If you observe here the text, joint plots comes under bivariate analysis because it is two argument x and y. I told you yesterday what do you mean by univariate analysis, bivariate analysis and multivariate analysis. I will tell you once again. Univariate, bivariate and multivariate. So if I am plotting a data, I am having the only x features, x values, and if the y value follow the probability value, this is known as an univariate analysis. The best example is nothing but an histogram. And here bivariate analysis means I am having x column and here I am having y column. I will have the x values, I will have the y values. This is known as an bivariate analysis. The best example is I told you joint plot. Another best example in Seaborn, joint plot. In Matplotlib, the best example is nothing but scatter plot. Okay, but in multivariate analysis, the best example is pair plot in Seaborn. This pair plot will be in Seaborn. I will tell you how we can plot the pair plot. Okay, this is the difference between univariate analysis, bivariate analysis, and multivariate analysis. So here I am using this joint plot. Joint plot belongs to bivariate analysis. What I am doing here is SNS.joint plot x I am passing for independent features. So before going that, I will execute this command. I will execute this data. Now here I am plotting the data. See, the data is here. Now what I am doing here is for this total bill and for this total tip, only for these two features, I want to plot the data. So I am using x is equal to, on the x bar I am using total bill, and on the y axis I am implementing tip. Data is equal to df, which means, what do you mean by data is equal to df? Df is the variable which is holding my data. Yes or no? This is the variable which is holding my data. We need to pass here data is equal to df. And if you want to see the parameters, click shift plus tab here. Okay, see, we need to give x-axis and we need to give y-axis and we need to specify the data. What is the variable that is holding the data? Okay, what I'm doing here is kind is equal to, this is the most important. Kind is equal to, I'm passing reg. What do you mean by reg? Is nothing but a regression. Regression is nothing but an, if I'm having an x-axis here, y-axis here, if I'm an x-axis here, a straight line will pass. This is known as a regression line. This is the first algorithm in machine learning. Okay, we'll have a clear idea when we're discussing machine learning. Okay, if I pass reg keyword here, what will happen? If I pass reg keyword and if I execute it, it is taking some time here. See, it is plotted. So if you observe here, a straight line has been provided here because it is using reg. Reg is nothing but a regression problem statements which will be in the format of straight line here. If you observe here, this line is known as a straight line. Okay, if you observe here, total bill and the tip, the plotting techniques is in the format of dots here, circle format. Okay, if you observe in the behind, it is showing me histogram also. Instead of plotting the data in the scatter plot inside, on the behind it is showing me scatter plot, histogram. So this line, this particular line, I am telling you here, what do you mean by this line is, suppose if I am having a data here, okay, this line, whatever the line it is passing, this is known as an KDE, kernel density estimator. Okay, what I'm doing here is I'm passing kind is equal to reg, which means regression. So it is passing a straight line. For total bill to tip, it is plotting the data with the circular format. On the behind, it is showing me this line, this curve. This curve is nothing but an KD, kernel density estimator. Okay, in case if you want different plotting techniques instead of reg, so go to here, click on the shift plus tab, and if you click on the plus symbol, I'll go down and I will search for kind function. Where is the kind function? Maybe it may be here. See, in kind function, I'm having scatter, REG, reset, KDE, HEX, different kind of parameters are there. Suppose if I take scatter here, so instead of REG, if I pass here scatter, okay, if I execute it, there will be no straight line here. See, because only REG variable will follow regression problem statements. That way a straight line has been provided. But here there is no REG. We just pass scatter. Scatter is, you know about matplotlib. In scatter we discuss about the x-axis and y-axis. A plotting technique will be available. Okay, this is how we use the joint technique. Suppose here is one example. SNS dot giant plot. I am passing the x feature, total bill. On the y I am passing tip. Data I am passing df, and kind is equal to HX. This HX is nothing but an hexagonal representation. So how the hexagonal representation will be? The structure of hexagonal is nothing but in this shape. Okay, the structure of hexagonal will be in this format. See the image. So instead of passing a scatter plot dots, I am passing here HEX. So the data will be in the format of HEX. See, if you observe here very carefully, I am zooming it. See, the shape is in the format of HEX. Okay, this is how we can plot different type of techniques. So there is another technique known as a dist plot. This is the most important one, dist plot. So dist plot is used to check the distribution column features is an univariate analysis or not. So what I am doing here is, if you observe here, I am passing a dist plot keyword sns.dist plot. I am passing only one column here, data of, which means df is the variable which is holding data, and tip is the column name, and I am passing hist is equal to true. What do you mean by hist here is nothing but an histogram. We want the representation in the format of histogram or not. See, if you see here, there is an histogram with the help of some line. This line is nothing but kernel density estimator. I am showing you now itself. Suppose if I am having a data, suppose this is my y-axis, this is my x-axis. Suppose if I am having a data like this is known as an histogram. These bins are known as an histogram. From this histogram in the above, if I show this line like this line is nothing but an KDE, kernel density estimator. Suppose if I show you here, see, I am passing here histogram is equal to true. Defaultly, this plot will provide this KDE line. Okay, we cannot delete this KDE line. This plot will provide this KDE line directly. So if you don't want this histogram, suppose I am removing this histogram. Okay, now what I am doing, I am executing it. What it will happen? See, if you remove the histogram also, it is printing the this shape. So what do this mean? So defaultly it is accepting two commands, that is, one is histogram and second one is it is accepting KDE line. KDE line. Okay, this is how this plot works. I will tell you. See here, this is one of the best example. I am passing the dist plot, I am passing the total bill column, and the history is equal to true, which means histogram. And the color I want, instead of blue color, I want red color, and KDE line is equal to true. Defaultly also it is accepting the KDE line, no problem. If it doesn't pass this command also no problem, but I am passing KDE is equal to true, which means activate kernel density estimator. And bins I am passing here 50. I told you yesterday what is the purpose of using bins in histogram, just to divide the data in a proper format. If I execute this line, see, instead of passing here red, I can pass here some color known as in green. So if I execute it, the data visualization will be in the format of green here. See, the data visualization is in the form of green here. Okay, here also same. Just I change the color, I pass another data. Instead of total bill, I pass the column known as in size. If I execute it also, it will show you proper output. We can use this plot with the help of for loop also. I will tell you once again how we can use the for loop. Suppose I am taking a data variable, and what I am doing here is with the help of pandas, I am reading one CSV file here. I am collecting this CSV file. What I am doing here is, I want to just to go to the location here. I will just collect one data set here. I will collect this data set, diabetes prediction. What I am doing here, I am just collecting this path here, and I am pasting it here. Okay, I told you yesterday the complete Windows operating system works with the help of forward slash only. So I am putting here forward slash. Okay. What is the name of the DIF? B. We'll see the proper explanation. DIF BATS. DIF BATS. Dot. It is a CSV file. So if I execute it, so it is executed successfully. There is no error showing. Okay. What I am doing here is I am printing the data with the help of head command. Sorry, I passed 2s here. See, This is the data set I am taking. Now for this data set, I want to find out this plot. I want to find out this curves for each and every column. So instead of passing individually each and every column inside like this df of total bill like that, for each and every column, instead of passing this separately, I will pass one for loop here. So before that, I want to tell you one thing. What is my variable that is holding the diabetes data is nothing but a data here. Data dot. I want to know the column names. Just type CYLUMNS columns. If you execute it, so these are the column names here. Different type of columns are there in this data set. If you observe here, pregnancies are there, glucose is there, blood pressure is there, skin thickness is there, insulin is there, BMI is there. Like that, each and every column will be, column names will be printed here. So for this each and every column, I want this plot here. So what I will do, I will just pass a for loop here for I in range of. So instead of passing range function for building data structure, what we will pass for I in df dot, sorry, for I in df dot, I'm passing a column.
Data dot column, sir, correct?
Yeah, what, Praveen?
For I in data dot column.
For in df, sorry, yeah, thank you. Okay, data, good. For in data dot columns, I'm going to collect each and every column here. Okay, what I'm doing here is SNS dot, I want to produce a dist plot, DIST, I want to plot a dist plot. So what I'm doing here is I can pass like this data of I. What do you mean by this? So the I is going to collect each and every column, and I'm passing a dist plot here, and I'm passing that particular I value. df of I means nothing but this. Initially, the I value is pregnancies, so I'm passing inside a dist plot. Now what I'm doing here is plt dot show. With the help of matplotlib, I'm just passing a plt dot show. So if I execute this column, it will take some time. See, for each and every column, it is going to execute this plot. Instead of passing individually, we can pass in the for loop. So see here, what I'm doing here is, see, for pregnancies, this is the dist plot for glucose, everything. So instead of passing separately in individual columns, we can pass in the format of for loop also. This is the purpose of using dist plot. Okay. Now pair plot. I told you pair plot is the best example for a multivariate analysis. We will see how the multivariate analysis is going to look like. So see here, multivariate analysis can be applied for entire data, no problem, because for each and every column, it is going to collect the visual representation. So what I'm doing here is SNS.pair plot. I'm passing a keyword as a pair plot. I'm passing the entire data, DF data, not a data. DF data I'm passing. If I execute it, see, these are the representation. From total bill to total bill, see, it is depending, no? From total bill to total bill, the correlation it will give 100%. For the diagonal values, it will give in the format of histogram. Why? If you observe here, total bill to total bill, it is giving histogram. From tip to tip, it is giving me histogram. From size to size, it is giving me histogram. But why?
Range one, sir.
Yeah, because each and every column is going to depending on each other. That's why from total bill to total bill, it is going to depending on 100%. It is depending. So in the format of histogram, it is showing here. So this is the purpose of using pair plot. If you observe here, see, this is a multivariate analysis. We are not going to find out an x-axis and y-axis. From one feature, we are going to find out the another features also. This is known as a multivariate analysis. Best example for multivariate analysis. Okay, multivariate analysis. Suppose here this is one of the best example, and the C1 I am passing a pair plot. I am passing entire data. HUA is equal to gender I am passing here. What do you mean by this gender is? So the entire plotting data, suppose this is the entire plotting data. In this entire plotting data, we will divide the gender, male and female category. If you observe here, it is showing here very carefully. I will zoom it. See, from the entire data, it is showing male and female category. Okay, the blue color lines goes to male and the green orange color lines goes to female. Same, the plotting is same only, but in this plotting it will show you how many men are there and how many female are there. This is the purpose of using HUA. You can pass here any column, no problem. Instead of gender, you can pass here any column. And here I am passing histogram here. What is the purpose of using histogram? See, in the histogram also provide this male and female category. That is the purpose of using histogram here. Simple. This is the purpose of using pair plot. So instead of using here histogram, I want KDE. Okay, what do you mean by KDE? If you observe here in this data, this bar type feature is known as an histogram. This line is known as an KDE, kernel density estimator. In the same way, what I am doing here is I pass a pair plot, I pass the data. And what I'm doing here is, instead of passing histogram, for the diagonal ones, I am passing KDE, kernel density estimator. So it is going to show me KDE lines. It is going to show me, instead of histogram, it is going to show me KDE lines. Okay. So here another example. I'm passing a pair plot. I'm passing a data. I'm taking he is equal to smoker, another column, and I'm passing a histogram for the diagonal values. And marker is equal to S and D. What do you mean by here? S and D is nothing but, suppose if I plot this data, S means, what is mean by S here? The person who is smoking and the person who is not smoking. Simple. Okay. It is showing me the blue color is nothing but the person who is having smoke and the person who is not having smoke here. So see here very carefully. In here, what I pass is marker is equal to S and D. Okay. S and D. This first parameter is going to collect with respect to the smoker who is having S here. Okay. S means nothing but square here. Okay. S means nothing but here square. Square. And what I am taking another one is D. D is nothing but diagonal values. Diamond, nothing but diamond. Okay. Okay. So what I'm doing here is, the persons here I am passing HU is equal to smoker. The person who is having smoke represent their data in the format of square here. S means nothing but square. And the person who is having no smoking habit represent the data in the format of diagonal, in the format of diamond shape. If you observe here, if I zoom it, see the blue color is in the format of square and the orange color is in the format of diamond. Okay, this is the purpose of using Markle function here. So if you observe here, these are the different ones. Till now we will discuss about the pair plot and displot, everything for the numerical data. Now we will discuss about how we can handle the categorical data. Okay, in the categorical data we are having count plot, box plot, bar plot, and while plot in the C1. We will see about the count plot here. So instead of, I am importing SNS.count plot. Okay, SNS.count plot. I am passing here one gender column and I am passing data. I told you need to pass the data feature here. See, it is showing in the y-axis, it is showing probability values. Okay, just the count, how much it is counting. So this is the male and this is the female. On the y-axis we can see the count. Okay, on the y-axis you can only see the count. You cannot see the feature names. Okay, on the y-axis you can only see the count. This is the purpose of using count plot. For any categorical data, for any categorical column, we can use count plot here. This is one of the best example here. What I am doing here is, I am passing a count plot and y is equal to gender I am passing and data I am taking as in df, because df only the variable which is holding my data. So instead of passing in an horizontal way, sorry, instead of passing the data in a vertical way, it is going to plot in vertical way. If I pass y is equal to gender, so on the y-axis we will see these columns, these feature names. Okay, male and female on the y-axis.
Sir, actually the count part what it's what indicates, sir? It indicates what, sir? Count part?
Suppose if I am having a column here, Praveen. Suppose if I am having a column here, in this column, suppose I am considering this column as a gender column. In this gender column, suppose if I am having a male, female like that, and for the entire data, set, suppose if I am having 1000 column, sorry, 1000 rows. If I am having 1000 rows, in these 1000 rows, I need to find out the count of men and female. So if you use the count plot, what you will get? It will show like this. So this indicates 800 in the entire 1000 observations. 800 belongs to men category and 200 belongs to female category. This is the purpose of using count plot. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry. So if I open and see, if you observe this image, the male is the male category is having almost 150 observations, but the female is having only 80 observations. So to check the data whether they are balanced or not, we will use count plot here. Okay. So this is another technique, is nothing but in bar plot. The purpose of using this bar plot is we can find out the bar plot for, in C1 we can find out the bar plot for bivariate analysis. Bivariate analysis is nothing but we will have x column and y column. What I am doing here, it is in bar plot. I want to find out in the format of dependent variables and I want to check whether the data is balanced or not with respect to two columns here. What I am doing here is I am passing a bar plot. I am passing a feature name here. X is equal to this one, gender I am passing, and y is equal to total bill I am passing. This data I am passing as in df. You know why we are using data is equal to df. And if I execute it, if you see here on the x-axis I am having gender column and the y-axis I am having total bill. So these two relation it is going to show me with the form of this bar plot. Okay, this is the purpose of using bar plot. So initially the count plot show me only with the help of probability values on the y-axis, but here with the help of bar plot I can find out for two features. For two columns I can find out how much they are depending. What is the count of the two columns? Okay, same bar plot I am passing y instead of here x-axis. In the x I am passing this gender and y I am passing total bill. What I am doing here is in the y I am passing this gender and x I am passing as a total bill and the data I am passing as a df. If you execute it in the y column, the data is completely changed here because on the x axis I am having a gender column and the y column I am having a total bill. But here if I change y is equal to the first feature I am taking as a y and the second feature I am taking as an x. So this first feature is going to activate on the y axis and the second feature is going to activate on the x axis. This is the purpose of using bar plot here. So simple for count plot I will tell you theoretically. Suppose if I am having a data here x and x1 suppose. So if you want to find out the count for this, we will use a count plot. Okay, we will use a count plot here. Suppose in one column if I am having male and female, if you want to find out the count, we will use count plot. But if I am having here x column x1 and x1 feature, I want to find out the count for these two features, we will use bar. In Seaborn we will use bar technique. Okay, this is the purpose of using this bar technique. Same, everything is same only x, y, just changing the parameters. Okay, this box plot completely belongs to statistic concept. So when I'm telling the statistic concept, you will have a clear idea about this box plot. Okay, why this box plot is coming? The structure of this box plot will be in the format of like this. Okay, this entire region is known as an 50% data, 70% data, and 25% data. Okay, this is known as a maximum value. This is known as a minimum. Don't worry, guys. This box plot, when we are discussing statistics, I will tell you completely. This box plot is also known as a 5-number theory summary. 5-number theory, the most important one. If you want to do machine learning completely, you need to understand what is a box plot. The purpose of using box plot is to handle the outliers. Okay, I'll tell you when you are dealing with this statistics concept, this box plot. If you discuss now also, we'll get forgotten and we'll have no idea why we are using this box plot. When you have a clear data on that time, we can use this box plot. See here, I am just plotting it. If you observe here, this is the technique. This is the starting one is known as 25% of the data. This middle one is known as 50% of the data. This ending one is known as a maximum value. Whatever the symbols are there now at the end, these dark lines that are known as an outliers. Okay, outliers. I'll tell you when we're discussing statistics. Okay, this box plot technique. Then you will have a clear idea. This is a violin plot technique. This violin is nothing but, so wherever the data is huge on that particular area, the curve will be very, very large. See, this is in the format of violin. From C1 I am taking as a violin plot. I am taking x-axis as in gender and y-axis I am taking as in total bill, and I am passing a data is equal to df. If I execute it, so on the y-axis I am having total bill, on the x-axis I am having the gender, but wherever the data is more when compared to this total bill and male functions, wherever they are depending more, on which part they are depending more, on that part the size will be more, the size will be increased. Suppose I am taking here one column, I am taking here x column and I am taking here x1 column. Okay, I want to find out the violin plot. I plot on the y-axis I am having x1 and on the x-axis I am having x. So at which point how much correlation they are following, depending upon that. Suppose here if it is following more value, more data depending on x1 and x2, that particular area the size will be increased. This is the purpose of using violin plot. With the violin plot we can easily decide at which area the data is large. See, if you observe here, from 10 to 30, the total bill and this gender is depending on each other. See here, from 10 to 30 the size is more increasing. Okay, this is the purpose of using this violin plot. Here also same. X I am taking as a smoker and Y I am taking as a total bill and data I am passing as a df variable. If I execute it, from 10 to 20 only. Here from 10 to 30 the data is large, the shape is very large. Here from 10 to 20 only the data is large here. So the x-axis I am taking as a smoker and y-axis I am taking as a total bill. So these two columns from 10 to 20 region only, it is going to plot very, very high amount of data. So with this concept we can discuss the we can handle the data very, very clearly. Suppose if I am passing here x1, suppose if I am having x2, suppose if I am having x and y, I am considering this an x, and if I am considering this an y, suppose my data is in the format of this shape from 10 to 20, the shape is like this. Okay, the shape is increasing. So on this particular area only, I can apply statistics concept to handle the data. Okay, to handle the data, I will just remove this part. I will just remove this part because I don't want it, because these two columns are depending upon on particular this entire region only, because the shape is increasing like this in the while plot. So in that purpose, we will discuss the data. We can handle the data. When we are discussing machine learning, each and every technique will come into picture. You don't need to worry. Okay, this is the purpose of using while plot. Suppose if I pass here y as a first parameter and x as a second parameter, it will be printed in the format of horizontal manner. See, if I pass here x as first parameter and y as a second parameter, the x is taken as an x bar and y is taken as a y bar. Suppose if I pass here y is equal to first parameter, this y is going to take on the x axis and this x is going to take on the y axis. Okay, if we plot this data, it will execute it very, very successfully. Okay, here also same. Instead of passing here individually, I can pass here with the help of this while plot. I am passing a data df and orientation is equal to v. This v is nothing but in vertically. Vertically is nothing but, what is the meaning of vertically? Plotting the data in the format of this line. This is known as vertically. Horizontal, this purpose of data is known as vertical, and this type of data is known as an horizontal. Okay. What I'm doing here is I'm passing orientation is equal to v. V is nothing but an vertical way. Okay. If I pass here h, see, the data will be in another format, nothing but horizontal. Okay. Simple. If you pass v here, it is known as an vertically. If you pass here h, it is known as an horizontally. Okay. These are some of the techniques in C1. The best example is while plot. Don't worry about this box plot, guys. I will tell you when we are discussing the statistics concept. And the another technique most important is box plot and count plot. If you observe here, the categorical features will be done with the help of count plot we discussed, and box plots I will tell you when we are discussing statistics. Statistics concept, and bar plot I told you, and while plot also you will have a clear idea. Okay, don't worry. Now for the numerical part, I am using pair plot. This pair plot is nothing but a multivariate analysis. I told you here multivariate analysis, and this is another one. This plot also I told you with the example of a diabetes prediction, diabetes data set. And here I am using another technique is known as giant plot. Giant plot, I told you, giant plot is completely based upon only univariate analysis or bivariate analysis. This giant plot is known as a bivariate analysis because we are having x feature and we are having y feature also. So depending upon this, we can scatter. If you pass here scatter, it will be in the format of dot shape.